I've been editing for over 10 years and I currently run 4 YouTube channels, all past 1,000 subscribers. When I first started editing YouTube videos, I thought better videos meant more effect and transitions. Turns out I was wrong. Today, I'm sharing 10 YouTube editing tips I wish I knew earlier. Although the main software used in this video is CapCut, this can be done in any other editing software as well. Alright guys, let's get started. Tip number 1, don't over-edit. One of the biggest mistakes beginners make is trying to use every effect they find on any editing software. Just because you can add 10 different transitions and effects doesn't mean you should. Over-editing is distracting, takes forever, and makes your video feel more chaotic. Just focus on clean edits, clear storytelling, and pacing first. Everything else will be just an icing on the cake. Tip number 2, edit off an SSD. This one is simple but really huge. Always edit off an SSD if you can, especially if you're using a slow PC. I edit off a SanDisk SSD 2TB just like this. Then once I'm done, I'll move all the files to a regular drive, which is going to be slower. Editing off an SSD will make your software run smoother and play back faster. Trust me, editing from a regular hard drive or a slower PC feels like pulling your teeth. Just save yourself from the headache. Tip number 3, use the Finder sidebar as shortcut. I use MacBook, and in Finder, I drag all the folders or assets I use often while editing into the sidebar. This makes it much easier to access them during an edit. If you're Windows, I think you can do this too. If you don't need it in the future, you can right-click on the folder and select Remove from Sidebar to take it off. It's a small change, but it makes finding your files much faster and makes your editing workflow smooth. Tip number 4, be intentional with your intro or hook. The first 5 to 10 seconds of your video decide whether people will stay or click away. Try spend more time planning your intro than you think you need. Your intro should show value quickly, tease what's coming, and stay tight. I usually edit my intro as the last thing. I mostly edit that after taking a break from editing the rest of the video, so I can come back with a fresh eyes and make it strong as possible. Remember, a great intro leads to more watch time and better results on YouTube. And one quick thing before we move on, even the best intro won't matter if people don't click your video in the first place. That decision comes down to your thumbnail, and that's where today's sponsor, Thumbmagic, comes in. I'm not a designer, so for thumbnails, I use tools like Thumbmagic. It's an AI thumbnail maker that helps you create clean, clickable thumbnails fast without overthinking the design. For example, here's my simple workflow. Go to thumbmagic.co, click on Create Thumbnail. I'll paste a link to an existing YouTube video. Then click on Process Video. I will select my avatar, choose a template, and click on Generate Thumbnails. In seconds, it will generate 2 thumbnail options that I can customize them to however I want. This already is saving me money every month compared to hiring thumbnail designers. I will leave Thumbmagic link down below if you want to test it out yourself. Thanks to the guys from Thumbmagic for sponsoring this video. Tip number 5, cut more than you think. When you're done with your edit, wait a minute. Watch it again with fresh eyes and try to see it like your viewers would. If anything feels boring, just cut it out. You can even get a friend to watch it with you. If a part feels slow, it will show on their face. At the end, just keep what moves the story forward and adds value. Tip number 6, stay organized. Organization is so underrated but a game changing. I preach this all the time to my members in my school community. Before you even start editing, create folders for footage, images, audio, and B-rolls and add the files to their respective folders. You can later easily import these folders into most editing software. Having your folders organized makes editing faster and way less stressful. Tip number 7, sound design matters. I used to be obsessed with color grading, transitions, and effects while completely ignoring sound design. Trust me, good sound design makes a massive difference. In CapCut, you can turn on the audio mixer on this side. For voiceovers, I usually aim for -12 to -6 decibels. When you play it, you can see the bar move up and down on the mixer. Make sure it stays in that range. For background music, I usually aim for -20 to -30 decibels. Important note, the music should never overpower your voiceover. Next, you can add subtle sound effects like pumps, swishes, whooshes to bring your movement in your edit to life. Sound design, in my opinion, is what makes your edit feel professional. Tip number 8, use J&L cut for storytelling. If there's one skill to master as a beginner, it will be the J&L cut. J-cut is when the audio from the next clip starts before the video changes. We have these two clips in CapCut. Right-click on the next clip and select Extract Audio. Turn off track magnets. Trim the beginning part of that clip. Next, move the two files closer to the first clip, and that will give you the J shape in the timeline. L-cut is the opposite of J-cut. This is when the audio from the previous clip continues after the video changes on the screen. In CapCut, turn on track magnet. Right-click on the first clip and select Extract Audio. Trim the ending part of that clip. This will give you the L shape on the timeline. This simple cut makes your edit feel seamless and keep viewers engaged. Tip number 9, simple movement. One thing that instantly makes your video feel more polished is a simple, intentional movement. And no, I'm not talking about crazy animations or over-the-top transitions. I'm talking about things like smooth zoom in to talking head video, just like this, or a simple push to the left or to the right. In CapCut, take your player to the first frame, add keyframe on transform. Go a few frames ahead and add another keyframes on transform. Now zoom in by increasing the scale value. Right-click on the second keyframe point in the timeline. Select Show All Presets. Choose one of the presets to make your movement smooth. Holding a static shot for too long can get boring for your viewers. Tip number 10, stop the music when needed. A lot of beginners keep music running constantly on their timeline, but sometimes stopping the music can be powerful. Stop the music during important points, punchlines, or emotional moments. For example, I have a talking head video and a music file on the timeline. Make a cut in the music where there is an important point. You can let the music continue afterward once the point is made. If you apply even few of these tips, your videos will instantly look cleaner and keep viewers watching longer.